order. We have one item on our agenda, order number 22-108-679, a petition for zoning amendment, Chapter 650, Section 40, location and heights of buildings relative to attached roofs and entryways, porches in proper form, from Solicitor Grossfield on behalf of Councilors Ossing and Navin, both of whom are in the room this evening. The City Council had its public hearing on October 3rd. The Planning Board had its public hearing on November 7th. And we did receive a letter, although it hasn't officially been accepted by the City Council, but I will read it. Honorable President Ossing and members, at its regularly scheduled meeting on November 7th, 2022, the Planning Board took the following action regarding the above referenced zoning amendment. On a motion by Mr. Russ, seconded by Mr. Elder, the board voted to send a favorable recommendation to the City Council without further guidance on the proposed council order. Number 22-108-679, motion carried 5-0. So I believe everybody has a copy of the proposed ordinance. It is in proper legal form. Nothing has been changed by anybody so far. If anybody has questions, I will open it up to the committee members. Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I see this as being very straightforward. I appreciate the work that you folks have done in putting this and presenting it to the City Council and the committee. This is one of the isms of living in Marlborough, where basically you're not allowed to do it unless they let you do it. So thank you for identifying this one and making sure that gets clarified. So that's all I need to say.
Anybody else on the committee? Questions, comments? Any other city councilors with questions or concern? I don't know if either you or Councilor Navin want to say anything regarding why you were approached, how this progressed. I know it sort of went through more, I think, at the planning board than at the council public hearing.
Madam Chair, I'm happy to just let the councils know how it came about. So back in November of last year, the applicants wanted to put a portico, which is basically just an extension of the front of their house to clean it, make it look nice so you can go in, get out of the rain. It's not enclosed, just a 4-foot by 5-foot entrance to get in. They encroached upon their front yard setback. So the setback is 30 feet. They encroached upon that by, I think, 2 or 3 feet. So the building department rejected it and said you can go to the zoning board of appeals. So they went to the zoning board of appeals. So the zoning board of appeals was very kind in taking up the item, but said there is no hardship, because in order for the zoning board of appeals to approve a change that was denied by the building, you got to show some hardship. And this was not a hardship. This was a nice thing to do to make your house look better. So there was really no. So the ZBA chair said, well, you can always go talk to your counselors and see if you can have one of them sponsor a change to the zoning ordinance. So that's what they did. They met with Councilors Navin and I. We met with the building department and legal, and I want to acknowledge the efforts by the commissioner of the building department and Bill Payton, our new assistant building commissioner, for drafting the language. And the language is very simple. It says you can't go more than 40 square feet, which is basically 5 by 8. I guess you could do 4 by 10, but the issue is small. It can't be enclosed. You can't live in it. It's basically just allows to dress up your entryway to your house. And the building department the planning board was actually pretty insightful. We have some members that are involved in other communities and recognize that other communities already have this, so it's not like we're the first one. But it gives the options for a homeowner that would encroach upon their front yard setback to, if they want to, dress up the front of their house where they call it a portico, but it's basically just an entryway. And the changes to the ordinance, the attached roof can't extend more than 5 feet into the required setback. The roof shall not exceed, or the roofing area shall not exceed 40 square feet. You can't enclose it, you can't live in it, and you've got to be at least 5 feet from the street. Right? So that seemed reasonable, and I encourage my fellow councilors to support the initiative. And I want to thank Councilor Navin as well for his support on this. And I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Counselor Ossing with his explanation? No, thank you very much for going over that. I know at the planning board meeting, the original applicants were there and indicated that they had been at this for almost a year and a half, and there was another homeowner that was there looking at this because he's sort of in the same boat. So my hope is that this will be approved tonight, and then I can ask for suspension at our next council meeting. It is in proper form, so it doesn't need to go to the solicitor again. I don't think that we could vote on this on Monday.
Motion to approve.
Madam Chair?
Counselor
My
Nabin.
apologies. I pulled that.
That's okay. Thank you, Counselor. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to President Ossing for that. I just want to kind of echo onto that. This is certainly, this is an example of good government, and some of the things that we're able to do here. The President kind of highlighted this already, but, this is an unintended consequence of an ordinance that was doing its job, and then we realized that, there are homeowners that are impacted by this. We have a wide variety of housing stock in this city, and some houses are closer to the street than others, and, people are in a position where not only do they want to make it a little bit easier, as the President said, to get in out of the rain if you're carrying your groceries, but also to beautify the front of your house, and, things like this are the things that can really improve a neighborhood and change a street. And so kudos to the President who really, carried a lot of the water on this, into our building department, and the Commissioner who, stepped up and said, let's find a way to work at this to make sure we're not going to have any unintended consequences. The result is well thought out, and it's really going to impact not only the applicants who were looking to do this, but, several others, as we've already heard from. So. Councilor Doucette, if you don't mind, if I will make that motion now that I'm done rambling on here. A motion to approve, and look forward to this going through. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, so Counselor Nabin is moved to approve. Is there further discussion?
I'll second it.
And not seeing any, all those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I will report this out, ask for a suspension. It will be an ordinance, so we'll have to go through this three stages. And with nothing else on our agenda,
Motion to adjourn.
thank you, Councilor Doucette. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are adjourned at 7:04, I will call it.